On the day I got sick, my boyfriend personally made some porridge, but he served it to his first love, Eleanor. He said to me, "Olivia, you're just a little cold. Just bear with it and you'll be fine. Why are you being so awkward?" Later, I broke up with him. He came back asking me to get back together. I also replied to him, "Nathan, breaking up is not a big deal. Just bear with it and you'll be fine. Don't think like that." When Nathan called me, I was running a high fever. It had already reached 38.5 degrees. I thought he was at my door. "Are you here? I'm coming down now." I held back the aches in my body. I lifted the blanket to get out of bed, but suddenly I heard him say, "Not there yet, Olivia. I'm not there yet." It's been an hour since I called him. Even if he bought medicine and cooked on the way, it shouldn't take this long. I'm feeling really dizzy. Frowning, I pressed him on when he would arrive. "Olivia, I might not be able to make it today. Eleanor suddenly got acute gastritis. I'm on my way to the hospital now." I never expected this at all. It's been 3 years since I last heard from Eleanor. What surprised me even more is that my boyfriend Nathan actually left me, sick with a high fever, to take care of his ex-girlfriend. A strong sense of shame made it hard for me to breathe. I took a deep breath. My face was burning hot from the fever, but I still forced myself to stay awake. "Nathan, she's having stomach pain again. What does it have to do with you? Don't forget, right now, you are my boyfriend." Long before I got together with Nathan, I knew he had always been thinking about the so-called white moonlight. When they broke up back then, the reason was as simple as 4 words. I was too young and didn't understand back then. It might have been a rash decision without clear thought. I once asked Nathan, if I appeared with Eleanor, who would he choose? I remember very clearly. He told me back then, "Olivia, my relationship with her had already ended." That's right. He told me they had ended it long ago, but he didn't. He could have decisively chosen me. His vague response. It's unclear if he was lying to me or lying to himself. At that moment, I felt a pang of sadness inside. Nathan impatiently interrupted the memory. "Olivia, don't impose your thoughts on me. Your cold is just a minor issue. Just bear with it. Don't be so delicate, okay?" Actually, before hearing these words, I always thought that if Nathan and I ever broke up, I would definitely be heartbroken. I used to love him so much, but now, I truly understand. It turns out, letting go of someone is actually a matter of an instant. Like right now, the driver reminded Nathan that we have arrived. This broke the awkward and heavy atmosphere between us. I had been silent. Nathan thought I had hung up. He didn't even look at the phone screen. He just stuffed the phone into his pocket. I should have hung up long ago. Maybe it was because of the fever. My reaction was a bit slow. I just kept the phone pressed to my ear. I stayed like that for a long time. I heard him anxiously speaking to someone else. "Excuse me, could you please make way?" The elevator opened with a ding. I heard him muttering in dissatisfaction. "Why is it so slow?" Then the ward door was pushed open forcefully. He said loudly, "Eleanor, I'm here." Until that moment, he finally let go of his worries about Eleanor. All the previous concerns, all of it shows how anxious he was. This makes me look so ridiculous. It also shows how important Eleanor is to him. I tugged at the corner of my mouth, giving a cold smile. I finally saw through his true character. This moment, I was utterly disappointed in him. Just as I was about to hang up, on the other end of the phone, Eleanor's voice was gentle, with a hint of coyness. "Nathan, I miss you." Nathan didn't say a word. The air suddenly fell silent for a few seconds. Then, I heard Eleanor's voice crack with tears. "Nathan, I'm so afraid I won't see you again. You know, the person who understands me best in this world is you. If I hadn't left back then, could we still be together well now?" Nathan didn't respond to her words. Looking at it this way, it feels more like it's being taken for granted. I understand this implication. I can't help but sneer. Illness amplifies my suffering. I only feel my eyes getting increasingly sore. Then, I heard Eleanor speaking again. "Nathan, did you cook this porridge for me yourself? Why is it millet porridge? Don't you know my favorite is century egg and lean pork congee?" The fingers holding the phone have turned pale from losing control. My whole body is burning hot. But why? Does my heart feel like it's soaking in ice water? It's so cold that even my heartbeat has slowed down. That memory vividly flashes in my mind. In the 3 years I dated Nathan, he never cooked a meal for me. Not even when I had my period. I asked him to make me a cup of ginger tea, and he always looked impatient. Olivia, I'm a man. Don't make me do this kind of thing in the future. Others have no problem when they have their period. Why are you so particularly delicate? The ginger tea in my hand suddenly became very hot. I asked him in a hoarse voice. Who else could it be? Nathan was about to grab the remote control. The movement suddenly paused for a moment. He instinctively touched his nose. He won't find out. Every time he lies, he unconsciously does this action. I was just saying it casually. Drink up quickly. If you don't drink it soon, it will get cold. Actually, I should have seen it back then. He must be talking about Eleanor. Nathan spoke softly and patiently. He pulled me out of my memories. Patients with gastritis cannot eat century eggs. You should know this basic common sense. Millet porridge is good for the stomach. I specially got up early to buy millet for you at the market. I even added rock sugar. You don't like white sugar because you're afraid of gaining weight. So I specifically chose the golden rock sugar you like. I have been preparing for a long time. You have to finish all of this. This way, your stomach will get better faster. You have no idea. I heard you had a stomach issue. Do you know how anxious I was? I really didn't expect that. Nathan, when I couldn't see him, he could be so thoughtful and considerate. Slowly, tears began to flow down, silently taking away my last love for him. Maybe I was just extremely disappointed. When he spoke his gentle and considerate words to Eleanor, in my heart, I already felt nothing. By the way, I also bought you a thermos. When your stomach feels a bit better, I'll make you your favorite corn and rib soup. I took out my phone to check where the delivery was. Nathan suddenly fell silent. I think he probably finally realized our call had never been disconnected. Olivia, in just this short half hour, I completely figured it out. Nathan, let's break up. As soon as the call ended, I blocked all of Nathan's contact information. Then I pulled the blanket over my head. I took a nap. This fever feels different from before. When I woke up again, I felt even dizzier. My eyes were also severely swollen from the high fever. I really couldn't hold on any longer. I had to endure the discomfort. I took a taxi to the hospital. When the cold fluid flowed into my body through the needle, I slowly began to wake up. After my vision cleared, I saw Eleanor standing not far away. Nathan was carefully pressing the needle against her hand to prevent backflow. His face was filled with worry. Eleanor quickly noticed me. She asked, Olivia, what are you doing here? When Nathan saw me, he slightly frowned. I thought, as long as I'm not blind, everyone can understand why I'm here. I was sitting cross-legged. She stared at them with a cold expression. Eleanor glanced at me. Her gaze was somewhat complicated. Then she turned to look at Nathan, who was focused on me. I should have known she was not simple. Otherwise, how could she have broken up with Nathan for 3 years, and still have him thinking about her all the time, even to the point of leaving me without hesitation, to go back to his ex-girlfriend, her, seeing that I was silent. She also sensed the awkward atmosphere among the three of us. She gently pulled her hand away from Nathan's grasp, bit her lower lip. With an apologetic tone, she said to me, Olivia, I'm sorry. My gastritis suddenly flared up. It hurts a lot. That's why I had no choice but to call Nathan to keep me company. Don't worry. There's nothing between Nathan and me. Even if we were together, he hasn't done anything to wrong you. I secretly glanced at her. Her eyes were filled with displeasure. Olivia, don't blame Nathan. Even though we broke up, he will always be my best friend in my heart. If you want to blame someone, blame me. After saying this, her face turned even paler. It was particularly heart-wrenching to see. Eleanor cried. Nathan was extremely distressed. He couldn't care less about himself and was still getting in for. He directly shielded Eleanor behind him. Olivia, I understand that you mentioned breaking up in anger. I can understand. You are not feeling well right now. Your emotions are quite intense. There are many things we can discuss calmly later. Eleanor is currently more ill than you. I can't leave her alone in the hospital room. I saw Nathan's hand tightly holding Eleanor's hand, resting beside her. He seemed afraid that she would leave him. When I was with him before, even when I held his hand first, he always looked unwilling. The cold needle on the back of my hand suddenly woke me up. I tugged at the corner of my mouth. A faint, bitter smile appeared. Love and indifference. The difference is really too great. Nathan, I'm not angry with you. I'm Olivia. It's not that I can't do without you. I even went to the hospital by myself. You speak. With a boyfriend like you. What can I do? The atmosphere between us became particularly awkward. Nathan wanted to speak. It seemed he wanted to refute me, but he couldn't find a reason to support his claim. I just calmly watched them. If there's nothing wrong, you can go back. You guys are here. It's not good for my health. Maybe my words were a bit harsh. Nathan's face turned a little pale. He tightened his grip on Eleanor's hand. I clearly saw a hint of displeasure in Eleanor's eyes when she looked at me, but soon she lowered her head. She hid her emotions. Olivia shook off Nathan's hand that was holding her. Come sit next to me, Olivia. Don't be angry. Nathan is just too worried about me. He got flustered in a moment of panic. You know that as well. Nathan has always been a caring and attentive person. If it weren't for that, he wouldn't have rushed over as soon as he heard about my gastritis flare-up. He hurried over in a rush. Now his cooking skills have improved quite a bit. Olivia, you must have eaten his cooking too, right? I raised an eyebrow slightly. I turned to look at Eleanor, who was sitting next to me, speaking with a hint of bitterness. I suddenly found it a bit amusing. Eleanor broke up with him out of spite back then. Afterward, she kept secretly asking friends how I pursued Nathan. She knows. In Nathan's eyes, my earnest pursuit doesn't hold any dignity at all, let alone having tasted the dishes he made with his own hands. Now she speaks such words. It's just to show off in front of me. Even after so many years with Nathan, the person he always thinks about is still her. Even the cooking he has never done for me well is also for her. I would give her everything without reservation. Even when she is sick, he would unhesitatingly take care of her, leaving me, his nominal girlfriend, behind. Eleanor will always be that special someone, and I am just an accessory to their relationship. When she looks at me, I can clearly see her pride and flaunting in her eyes. She probably hopes I would be mad about it, but this time, she might be disappointed. I just smiled faintly. It's just a simple dish. What's there to show off about? I wouldn't even look at dishes made by the Williams family's 5-star chefs. Nathan's cooking. Only you would treasure it. Eleanor understood the deeper meaning in my words. Her complexion is a bit pale. No longer speaking. I thought that after saying this much, she would gracefully leave on her own. Unexpectedly, she reached out directly, trying to grab me. She said, Olivia, don't be angry anymore. I'm apologizing to you. Is that okay? I'm running a fever. My whole body hurts. She used a bit of force with her hand. When I reached out to push her, she suddenly fell to the ground. Nathan couldn't stand it anymore. He stepped forward and directly picked her up in his arms. Olivia, that's enough. You're sick with a cold and fever, so I won't hold your words against you. But you really went too far. Eleanor has apologized to you so sincerely. If you don't accept it, then forget it. How can you resort to violence? You are also a patient. How can you treat her like this? The infusion room is extremely quiet. So quiet that I can almost hear the sound of my heart breaking. Giving up on Nathan is one thing, but when I see him being cold towards me, it's as if he never believed in me. It makes me feel particularly upset. Nathan, don't say anything. I'm feeling a bit unwell right now. Can you take me back to my room, okay? As I turned around, I clearly saw a hint of a smug smile on Eleanor's lips. I don't want to see them anymore. I lifted my head. I forced back my tears. The hospital's fluorescent lights made my eyes hurt. It suddenly reminded me of the first time I met Nathan. My encounter with Nathan. It was just like the plot of those cliché idol dramas. As an outstanding student representative of New York University, when he stood on the stage, I was captivated by his handsomeness. Later, I heard from a friend. Nathan has someone in his heart that he can't have. You don't know, right? Although Eleanor is the campus beauty, her family background is ordinary. How could a prestigious family like the Williams allow them to be together? It's not just us who think this way. Nathan himself is also aware of the gap between them. But young love is like that. Nothing can stop it. With Nathan's persistence, the Williams family eventually agreed to their relationship. A month later, while Nathan was abroad, Mrs. Williams met Eleanor alone. She handed Eleanor a check. It was for $100 million. Miss Eleanor, you're so smart. You must know how to choose correctly. Eleanor has a strong sense of pride. She couldn't stand Mrs. Williams looking down on her with money. In anger, she broke up with Nathan and left right away. Later, I quietly stayed by Nathan's side because I am the eldest daughter of the Williams family, and I truly like him. These two things made him accept my presence in his life. So, when I asked Nathan again, "Do you want to be with me?" he sighed. Then he helplessly nodded. I was so happy at that time. I didn't even notice that there was not a hint of affection for me in his eyes. The medication started to take effect. I wasn't so hot anymore. I stayed up all night. Now I'm slowly feeling sleepy. My eyelids are getting heavier. I fell asleep immediately. In a daze, a warm shoulder gently leaned against me. Sleep now. Everything will get better. When I woke up, I found myself in a completely unfamiliar place. I had never seen the room before. The bed wasn't mine either. It was someone else's blanket, and the clothes on me were someone else's. I suddenly jumped up from the bed, screaming. Just then, at that moment, the bedroom door was pushed open from the outside. Standing at the door, it's Ethan's familiar face. I don't understand how I ended up here. He told me the reason. You fell asleep while getting in 4 yesterday. Luckily, I happened to pass by and saw you. I brought you over here. I work at the hospital. I'm a surgeon. Ethan made a delicious spread. All my favorite dishes. You just recovered from a fever. Drink some pork rib soup to replenish your nutrients. He ladled a spoonful of pork rib soup with his long, beautiful hands, and placed it in front of me. But I kept thinking about one question. Did you help me change my clothes? The air between us froze for a second. His chopsticks paused in his hand. Then he immediately looked up at me. Don't overthink it. I only changed you into clean clothes because I'm a germaphobe. Also, your frail body has no appeal to me. These words reached my ears. I pouted. He lowered his head and nodded gently. It seems he is still the same as before. He always speaks with a sting, but to be honest, although I was in a deep sleep at the hospital, I still vaguely remember feeling uncomfortable from the sticky sweat on my body. Moreover, it seems he stayed by my side and took care of me all night. He helped me take my temperature. He fed me my medicine. He even wiped my body down. Although my head was a bit dizzy, I still vaguely remember some things. After eating, Ethan took my temperature again, 362 degrees. He only let me leave after my fever completely subsided. I had just finished packing my things and was ready to go out. Ethan suddenly called out to me, "Olivia, I took you in and cared for you all night. Don't you plan to thank me properly?" I didn't quite understand what he was saying for a moment. My mind was a bit slow to process. My mind is a bit foggy. I can only ask him directly. Otherwise, I should say thank you to you. I heard this. His expression immediately turned unhappy. Is this okay? You pretend to be my girlfriend. Help me deal with my parents. Can you do that? I don't know how Ethan ended up standing in front of me. I also don't understand how I agreed to him so mindlessly. By the time I came to my senses, my phone had his WeChat and phone number saved. The note is "Dear boyfriend." The strange feeling in my heart because of Ethan quickly faded away. Because on the way home, as soon as I opened WeChat, I saw a photo sent by a friend. My friend asked me, "Olivia, isn't Nathan your boyfriend? How can he be by Eleanor's side taking care of her now? Olivia, do you need me to help you teach that hypocritical person a lesson? What Eleanor is doing is inappropriate. Even if she's sick, it shouldn't be like this. Isn't there a caregiver in the hospital?" My friend angrily stood up for me. I quietly opened the photo. In the photo, Nathan was gently and carefully wiping Eleanor's hands. He looked like that, as if he were taking care of his most precious person. For some reason, I suddenly remembered the times when I accidentally got my hands dirty while eating fruit, and I would act spoiled and ask Nathan to help me wipe my hands. that day. This is what he said to me. He said, "Olivia, you're already this grown up. Do I still have to help you with this?" He still spoke impatiently like before. His movements were still not very gentle, but in the photo, he, at this moment, appeared particularly patient. His patience made me feel as if I had never truly understood him. I deleted that photo, and then sent a message. "We have already broken up. From now on, his affairs don't need to be told to me anymore." I put down my phone, and looked out the window. The dim streetlights shine in the darkness. The car moves steadily forward, leaving them all behind. Those memories of Nathan's past are also being gradually left behind by me. I didn't go back to the apartment. I went straight to the Williams family mansion. Seeing me come back, Mom quickly came to greet me. "It's only been a few days. How could I look this haggard?" She knew I had a fever. She immediately called the family doctor, but I stopped her midway. "Ethan just took my temperature. The fever has subsided now. I'm fine now." Just this one sentence. My mom immediately picked up on a lot of information. Old Ethan's son has returned. I nodded slightly, and told her, "He is now a surgeon. When I was sick, it was he who took care of me." After a brief silence, she gave me a meaningful glance. She asked me if I broke up with Nathan. I didn't say anything. I just nodded. She sighed softly after hearing that. Her words were full of concern for me, and some complaints about Nathan. I understood from the beginning. You two are not suitable for each other. I sat on the sofa, listening to Mom talking beside me. The Williams family is on par with our family, but I can tell he doesn't really care about you at all. Olivia, it's not wrong to like someone. It's also not wrong to bravely pursue love. You have been sincere to Nathan all these years, but has he ever truly cared about you? At home, you never have to do housework. You're not even allowed in the kitchen. After all, you are the young lady of the Williams family. Whatever you want, the family will provide for you. Just look, after you got together with Nathan, your hands, which used to be delicate, now have to cook for him. Last time you came back with him, you personally made him tea. He didn't even say thank you. It seems like everything you do, he takes it all for granted. Now you're sick with a fever. He's not even here to take care of you. Mom said, "What will you do when you have a baby and need to rest afterward?" As she spoke, it seems like she feels injustice for Nathan wasting my feelings. Tears slowly streamed down. I leaned forward. I reached out and hugged Mom. "Olivia, you need to find someone who truly cherishes and loves you. Nathan doesn't deserve your love." But I haven't enjoyed much peace at home. My mom heard that Ethan is back. She immediately urged me to bring him some nourishing food. This news was too sudden. It scared me so much that I almost choked. There are so many nutritious meals in the hospital cafeteria. You don't have to worry about it. As soon as she finished speaking, a thermos was placed right in front of me. "Didn't you say that they took care of you all night when you were sick? With your little life. If it weren't for Ethan's help, you wouldn't have seen today's sun." I hadn't even had the chance to speak when she pushed me onto the car. The car came to a steady stop at the hospital entrance. I took out my phone. I was about to message Ethan to see if he was at the hospital. As I looked up, I saw Nathan carefully supporting Eleanor not far away, with a gentle expression on his face. What were they talking about? I couldn't hear. I looked at Nathan's expression. I could clearly feel that he was very happy. That's right. The person he likes is right beside him. Of course he should be happy. I slowly walked into the hospital. Their voices clearly reached my ears. "Nathan, I can walk by myself now." "No, you just had an examination. The doctor said you have a stomach issue. You were malnourished before. Now I need to pay more attention. Hurry up and go. I just made you some bone broth. You should drink more of it. You've lost too much weight." They are completely immersed in their own world. They didn't even notice me quietly watching all of this from the side. This moment, I feel like just a fleeting passerby in Nathan's life. She has left no trace in his life. "Nathan, do you want to go see Olivia? Last time I saw her, she didn't look too well." Upon hearing this, Nathan's smile suddenly froze. It seems that for him, I'm someone he especially doesn't want to mention. She was the one who said she wanted to break up first. Right now, I can't even care about her. The hospital lobby is bustling with people. I just watched them walk away together, until they were out of sight. Maybe I really don't care anymore. Maybe I really don't care anymore. I'm not sad at all. I knocked on Ethan's office door. The door creaked open. He wore gold-rimmed glasses, standing there in a white coat. He looked like someone who is simple and unpretentious. My girlfriend brought me lunch. I forced a smile at him. I handed him what my mom had instructed me to give him. Then I turned to leave. He grabbed my wrist and asked me to wait until he finished eating before I left. How do I know you didn't tamper with the food? Before I could react, he shoved another set of chopsticks and a bowl into my hands. Come eat with me. It's no fun eating alone, he said. He even specially placed a piece of my favorite sweet and sour ribs in front of me. He wanted to feed me, although it still had that familiar taste. I felt like the ribs were a lot sweeter than usual today. A bit too sweet. Is it good? I nodded. Upon hearing this, his lips curled up slightly. Ethan's handsome face was right in front of me. I could clearly see my reflection in his eyes. The atmosphere between us became a bit subtle. I suddenly felt a little dazed. I even had an illusion. At that moment, I thought he really liked me. But right after that, he said something that shattered all my beautiful fantasies. Looks like it's not poisonous. I can eat it without worry now. At that moment, he made my head ache with anger. I couldn't contain my anger. I directly put down my chopsticks. I raised my hand to hit him, but I was too excited. I ended up tripping myself. I hadn't even struck him. Instead, I fell directly into his arms. Ethan was afraid I'd fall. He wrapped his arms around my waist and pulled me closer. In the blink of an eye, I was completely leaning against his chest. The room was filled with a subtle atmosphere. It was so quiet around us that we could only hear our hearts pounding. I still hadn't decided whether to break free from his embrace. At that moment, the office door was suddenly pushed open from the outside. Nathan stood silently at the doorway. He looked at us with a gloomy expression. I wasn't sure how he found out I was at the hospital, but I didn't want to hide it from him. So, when he later asked what our relationship was, I told him directly. I was dating his good friend Ethan. Olivia, don't joke around. It's not funny at all. Nathan's expression was not good. He spoke to me in a harsh tone when he asked, but Ethan completely ignored him. He directly wrapped his arms around my waist and helped me up from beside him. Nathan, you should knock before coming in, and it's my break time right now. Suddenly barging in like this will disturb our little couple's rest. Ethan rarely looks unhappy in front of me. His tone of voice is still as calm as usual, but his tightly pressed lips show that he is holding back his anger. Nathan doesn't take his words seriously at all. I stare at him intently, and Ethan, sitting next to him. Even rabbits don't eat grass near their burrows. You can't touch your brother's woman. Don't you understand this principle? Nathan is furious, but Ethan remains calm, with a smile on his lips. Then, he directly pulls me into his arms in front of Nathan, speaking in an especially irritating tone. If I remember correctly, Olivia should have broken up with you, right? I'm dating a single girl. What's wrong with that? Besides, you've been taking care of Eleanor at the hospital these days. People who don't know might think she's your girlfriend. Nathan is left speechless by this. Nathan was left speechless. When he looked at me, I immediately turned my face away. I can't be bothered with him. I don't want to see him again. I really didn't expect this. This time, he won't let go no matter what. I don't agree to break up, Olivia. As long as I don't nod my head, you can't think about leaving. After saying all this, he took a step forward. He tightly grabbed my wrist, trying to pull me away from Ethan. However, his hand had just touched me. Ethan reacted faster. He grabbed his wrist in one swift move, squeezing his pressure point hard. He had no choice but to let go. I sat on the edge of the sofa, looking at him with a cold expression. He probably hasn't been treated so coldly before. His tone suddenly softened. Olivia, I've explained this to you. There really is nothing between Eleanor and me. She came to the hospital because she was sick. A person comes to the hospital. I have only accompanied her for a few days. We have really ended things. Just trust me this once. Don't be stubborn just because you're upset with me now, and make a choice you'll regret." When he said that, he glared sullenly at Ethan blocking my way. I suddenly found it quite amusing. When he said those words, he probably forgot what he did in the past. Being with you was truly my most foolish choice. I slowly stood up, walked to the door, pushed the office door open forcefully. "Please leave now. Don't ever show up in front of me again." After Nathan left, I slumped onto the sofa, not moving at all. From childhood to now, I've always been able to do everything well. Maybe it was because things went too smoothly, so this failed romance hit me particularly hard. I've always believed, as long as you treat someone wholeheartedly, no matter how much you give, you will receive the same in return. But reality tells me, love has never been fair. Ethan sat down beside me. He reached out and pulled me into his arms. Actually, I'm very grateful to him. Every time I'm feeling down, he's always there by my side. After I calmed down, I was just about to stand up, but he tightly held on to me and wouldn't let go. He even pulled me in closer. My heart was racing faster and faster. Clearly, I wasn't running a fever, but my face was uncontrollably burning. "Olivia, your face is really red." I held my breath for a moment, anxious to find an excuse to explain my embarrassment. But Ethan leaned closer to my ear and softly said another thing. His lips gently brushed against that particularly sensitive spot on the back of my neck. I felt a tingling sensation all over, as if I were electrified. Every hair on my body stood on end. What he said next left me completely stunned. My mind went blank. "Olivia, give me a chance. Actually, I've had a crush on you for a long time." I was so scared that I ran away. I had just stepped out for a short while. I ran into Nathan smoking at the hospital entrance. He saw me come out. He immediately threw his cigarette on the ground and stamped it out. He quickly walked over to me. He asked, "Olivia, you need to be honest with me. This isn't true, right? You and Ethan aren't really together. The so-called breakup was just something you said in a moment of anger, right?" I'm not sure. Why is Nathan still fixated on this now? But I think some things no longer need to be said. So I didn't answer his question. I just walked past him. I wanted to leave this place, but he grabbed my wrist. "Olivia, don't let go." He lowered his head. I couldn't see his expression clearly. If it were in the past. I can't stand to see him sad. But now, he is holding my hand. It just makes me feel really uncomfortable. "Olivia, can we not break up? We've been together for so long. Feelings aren't something you can just cut off. Eleanor and I are just ordinary friends. Even if I've been taking care of her recently, I never thought about getting back together with her. If you're angry, you can hit me or scold me, but please don't say break up so easily, okay?" I've never seen Nathan so humble in front of me, let alone thought that after I said break up, he would hold my hand so tightly. "Nathan, do you remember what you said when I had a fever?" He slowly lifted his head to look at me. That confused look in his eyes made me feel a bit amused. "Nathan, breaking up isn't a big deal. Just endure it and it will pass. Don't be so sensitive. Moreover, when you decided to come to the hospital to take care of her, our relationship has reached its end. Since then, I haven't seen him again. I rented out my old apartment. I couldn't be bothered to find a new place. I just stayed at home. This period has been quite leisurely. It's just that Ethan keeps hovering around me. He knows I love the pineapple buns from the old shop in the south of the city. I'd rather make a 2-hour round trip after work. He knows I have a preference for a certain bag. He even asks friends abroad to help source it. He knows I adore roses. Every morning, he delivers a big bunch of fresh ones on time. The flirtation and excitement I didn't experience while dating Nathan. Now he makes me feel all of that. When I'm facing him, my heart truly becomes uncontrollably chaotic. So when I saw him show up at my birthday party, I wasn't surprised at all. His kindness towards me these days has made my parents genuinely like him. Halfway through the banquet, I felt a bit suffocated. I went alone to the back garden of the old house. The night wind is cool. I couldn't help but shrug my shoulders. At that moment, a warm feeling suddenly enveloped me. I turned around and looked. It turned out that Ethan had followed me out without me noticing. "It's cold. Put it on." His suit jacket gently draped over my shoulders. I could still smell his scent. I thought he would ask me if I wanted to be his girlfriend, but he didn't. He just sat there, staying by my side. He said nothing. I gently pressed my lips together, yet I couldn't help but ask him, "When did you start liking me?" "Probably when you first came to my house," Ethan replied. I was only 10 years old then. I excitedly grabbed Ethan's hand as soon as I saw him. I also naively said I wanted to marry him when I grew up, but I didn't expect that after growing up. "You heartless guy actually fell for someone else. I wasted all these years waiting for you." Upon hearing this, my face flushed. I stood up and was about to leave. He reached out and pulled me close by the waist. His warm breath instantly enveloped me. "Olivia, be with me, okay?" His voice was deep and gentle. It made my heart race. I could barely catch my breath. "This time, I'm afraid I can't escape." I nodded gently. His lips were about to touch mine. At that moment, a voice suddenly came from behind. It broke the subtle atmosphere. Ethan shouted, "Let her go." I wasn't sure why Nathan appeared here. During this time, I had slowly gotten used to his absence, but I also understood. If some things aren't clarified, he may never be able to let go. I told Ethan, "Let him wait aside for a bit." He nodded. He said to call him anytime if needed. Long time no see. Nathan looks quite haggard. This version of him surprises me. In my impression, no matter when, he would never allow himself to look so unkempt. I never thought that one day we would become so estranged. We can barely exchange a few words. A long time has passed. He finally broke the awkward silence between us. "Olivia, I regret it. I have thought a lot these days. If I hadn't gone to the hospital to take care of her, would we be like this now? Before she came into the picture, you treated me so well. Olivia, can't you love me once more?" Under the moonlight, I thought to myself. I saw it clearly. At the moment he looked up, his eyes were filled with bloodshot veins and deep regret. If only it could have been earlier. "Nathan, if you could love me just as much when I loved you, we might not have ended up like this, as you said. But you have to understand, it wouldn't have turned out like this. But you need to understand, there are no what-ifs in this world. On the contrary, I really have to thank Eleanor. If it weren't for her appearance, I wouldn't have known in your heart. She is always more important than me." He said I loved him deeply, but it's really just because he enjoys the feeling of being loved. He never thought of actively giving me the same love. Such a selfish person. Why should he come to receive my love again? Now the pain is gradually swallowing him up. He can't hold on any longer. With a thud, he knelt in front of me. His tears hit the ground and were swallowed by the night. He kept saying sorry over and over, but this time, I don't want to forgive him anymore. "Olivia, I overestimated myself. I always thought you would love me forever. No matter what I did, you would unconditionally tolerate me. That's why I kept squandering your feelings. Olivia, it's okay even if you don't love me now. Let me love you properly in the future. Is that all right?" He suddenly looked up. His face was covered in tears. He looked especially pitiful, but I felt nothing in my heart. Looking at his pale face, I shook my head. "I will not accept your feelings. Never." Since then, I never saw Nathan again. I heard his dad arranged for him to work abroad. On the day he left, he sent me a message. "Olivia, I'm sorry." I watched the plane gradually fly away outside the window. A simple apology. It's too easy to say. The effort and time I've invested in him over the years, it can't be erased by just a simple apology. But I also understand, he will never find someone who loves him like I do in this lifetime. 1 year later, I married Ethan. After getting married, he treats me especially well, spoiling me like a child. He said, "Olivia, I will take good care of you for the rest of my life." I leaned in his arms, gazing at the sunset outside the window. "Look, the sunshine will always appear.